Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to the competition. You are watching the PMMT Heatwave, actually, yes, and the competition sets the name for the PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament. So, hey, I'm your only host named as Quicker, called as QR Kamor, and we'll be watching today lots of teams. They might be named as Silent Commando, Team Modern, Team Skytis, or Team Skidis, maybe. Yeah, then the team might name for Enrage Esport Tufan. Okay, Tufan Esport, not bad. Tufan Esports, nice. That seemed like Bengali, but then I see the name as Regam Kion or Queon. Nice. It's the 777 Sports. Then it's for the team Shockwave, and then there are lots of teams named as Morvex NG, Cam Army Esport or Cam Army Esport. Then it's Team 4MF XP Sports, Gamerise Esports, tagged as GMRs, Attack on Enemy, Executioners, Killer Crew, Execute, Phoenix Legion, Rescue Esport, Neon Rising, and Scenario Esports. So for now, we see the first match getting started, right? And it's a really good match because the flight path has been set off from such a different location. Yes, it's from the north and just heading in for the direct south on the Sosnovka Island. I hope so. The first zone gets supported on the eastern side or the western side. Actually, it should be on the western side, but according to the latest zone meta, sometimes it gets supported on the altar side or the just extreme altar sides. But now I see 19 teams participating in the same lobby, and that means this match is gonna get so intense for you to enjoy. So at first, we see lots of teams just trying to go for their drop directed locations or directed drop locations, and now they'll just do it greater. Yeah, but let me get the slot lists at first so that I can show you, or I can just let you hear out your favorite teams. Okay, but or your supporting or chosen teams, right? Okay, so let's go for the first zone. Oh, after the flight path getting started from the northern corner, the zone actually is supporting the northern side, and now we see the draw clash fights also getting started at the very start of the game, where I can count some of the locations, like how many locations are there where the draw clash fights might occur. It might be the location at first on the Rozuk, and then it might be on farm, and then it's definitely gonna be on the military base. And now I see some of the teams just jumping on a different position. It's like you see the team 4MH. Okay. And what the name does? 4MF 4XP Esports. Okay. So I see the teams and I know their colors. So by not knowing them and not knowing them that much, even though I can get them every time I see them, right? But let's forget about that. It's just the first stage and just the first match, and the teams are just gonna need lots of points to just defend themselves after the next games are happening. But now at first I see the team named as Rex Regam Queon, and the team does have a good tag, and that tag is RRQ. I know the tag, and now I see them just getting on the Rozok, and now all they need is to deal with the teams that they're sharing this location with. It's the team Neon Rising. Try to scout down, and there we go. The first knock comes from Team RCs, and the team actually secured the kill. It's a new team on the Rozuk named as Rescue Esport. And now, which player they want to rescue from? It's a scam. It's the scam is like your names are Rescue Esport, but you're not actually rescuing your opponents, but they're just taking the opportunity for the opponents so that they could be rescued. But no, not they're not getting rescued. So for now, the first draw clash battle sets on from Rozuk in between the three teams. One is the RRQ, second one is the Neon, and third one is the RC. So three different teams. But at first, Team RRQ loses one and Team Neon loses one. But the rest of the teams and the rest of the locations are so looking, just looking so cool and not that messy, right? So it's gonna be definitely going to be a good start for some of the teams, even though they're sharing the same locations on the very drop places, but still they're not getting eliminated that fast. It's a completely different meta from the southern eastern side, or the not the southern eastern, it's just the southeast Asia's. So yeah, it's completely different, and the teams are also completely different, and their mindsets, their strategies might be some of the difference, or some different, but not that much, because all the players, or all of the competition is all about for the PUBG Mobile game. And PUBG Mobile, it's all about the same maps: Erangel, Miramar, Sanok, and Rondo. But later I found out that ma'am just hates the map of Rondo, so there will not be definitely any Rondo games. So we can only see the Erangel, Miramar, and Sanok. And all I was trying to point out is the map is same, the game mechanism is same, and the player counts are the same. So the strategies will not be so different than other regions, and that is the point I was trying to make here. Now I see Team Skydis, or Team Skidis. You can pronounce that, and I might be wrong, but if you want to just correct me, so do not fear to correct me. Just correct me, okay? If I'm wrong, that wrong. But now I see the tag more. Okay, that means it's the Morvex's team. But I cannot see the name that kid. It's just the name of Shockwave, as long as I can understand. Yes, the Shockwave. The name is the Shockwave, but the tag should be of SWs. But I see the tag of More, so it's like the Morvex team. I see Pasta and some of the players that they're looking like wow. They're starting this match so good. Just the first stage, and I can see no other teams are getting eliminated. Not even a single team is getting eliminated. Only just to the teams I can find, they're just losing other players, but still they're having a good trial roster to fight back with. It's the team named as Team Silent Commando, and just looking forward for the first rotations and the players. But there we see Team Morvex Pasta getting the first knock against RCs, and then it's Team Modern which loses the first player because of Commando. Now it's Command 777 who gets the first finish for the team, and then Team Silent Commando actually clears their path away and takes the first point from the location. But actually, in which position they want to take for? We have seen the zone getting supported on the northern corner, right? And that means this 7A clearly becomes the highest hottest spot on the targeted location for lots of teams. They might want to go there, but for Team Neon, it's the first start there. Timor loses Rage right now, and Timor means they were named as Shockwave. Now loses the first player. Then as Team 4M on the kill feed looking for some kill or some finishes, and that was Flanto or Peach Lanto which gets eliminated. Then it's Pasta again on the kill feed by getting encountered with a single grenade, and that means that grenade will kill the player. But now it's Pasta who needed the support from the players, from the teammates, but no, the teammates were close for the rescue mission, right? So that's where the team loses the players. Now it's all about for Team Shockwave to be in duo, for Team 777 to be in trial, for Team RQ to be in trial, for Team MDX to be in trial. Team RC also loses one, Team Neon loses one, so that means they're in the trial, right? But for Team PLHX, yes, the tag might be Phoenix Legion, also loses the first player. Now we see Team Rescue Esports, yes, standing tall on the Rozok with the roster, gets the first 3 point for the team. Still, you see Team 4MA getting the first 2 points, and that means only some of the teams got these opportunities to get the to secure the points at the start. Now is the real chaos begins, where I see the pre-mosque location being taken by Team Tufan Esport, and they might go for the extreme western rotation, where I see Team EXE is just taking the best possible location on the Georgiopol northern city, and that means it'll be so easy for the team to get an entry on the shooting range. There are actually lots of battles getting started happening on the southern side. On the outside of the zone, it was the Gatka location where a team got eliminated, and that was Team Skydis, which I was talking about. It's indeed the team 4MA or 4MA AXP Sports, the tagged as team as 4MA. So that's how you can identify the team. And I see the team taking 6 elims there. That means the team just got engaged with two different squads, but one survived and the other couldn't. But the one of the team I was talking about who survived has only got the two of the players left, and that means yes, the situation will be going good. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks for the confirmation, ma'am. Now I got a really good confirmation that which team I was talking about, Morvix. Yes, they're really the Morvix because Shockwave did not participated. So that's where I found out about Morvix. Yeah, I'm getting so happy that I remembered the tag and I just talked it right. Somehow it was good. And every time I do get this kind of moments like a confirmation that when I was right, but then I suspected about the team that is right or wrong, I get much more happier. It's just I'm just the passionate one. That's why I do not do the face cam part because I'm a passionate caster and I do not like to show my face overall, with the commentary. But now it's a passion for me to witness the competition, to enjoy the games. So I'm enjoying the games, right? Yes, now we love to watch out for Team Rescue Esports. Yes, they're still on the Rozok side and still the zone is on this side. So they do not need to worry about the zone. All they need to be worried about is the opponents they're taking for. Now it's the team Rex, Regum, Queon, and the team gets close and tries to secure the finishes. Now it's all about for the three finishes for the team, and that's it. That's it. It's for the team. So I say it's still to the teams here, right? Okay, so there goes the team Shockwave, named as Shockwave, but the tag will be Morvex because Morvex did take the slot. Now it's all about team Morvix right now. Yes, it's you bad and not bad. The team is surviving and they do have just their first point, right? And Pasta, I remember the name of the player which took the point here. Now it's all about team RRQs to deal with one, and that means another team is in trouble, and that was the team RC. So what RC's got there? Okay, they were named as Team Rescue Sports, right? Still, some of the teams are just fighting again. Only the 18 teams are available. It's the very second stage, and you can see the 18 teams getting available, and that means we are having such a good game here because every team is just playing seriously. That means this is kind of the official games you'd like to spot, right? Yeah, well, let's talk about Team Phoenix Legion. It's from the shooting range. I know that. But it's all about the Phoenix Legion that I can see on screen. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, Team Neon Rising will clearly see the advantage of taking down Baby. It is too fun on the kill feed to take down Reefers. Then Baby gets taken down by Baby Zane. And now I see the battle getting warmed up slowly. And then I see Team Rescue Esports fighting back again with RRQs. And that led Team RRQs getting eliminated. We just only lost to the teams. And one of the team just got 3 limbs. And that's good. Before getting eliminated, the team is having such good points, right? Then I see Team Killer Crew. It's just really being so good at the team because I see them starting the game so clear and loud and clear. After the second shift of the zone, this team is having the northern position where they might face some of the teams from the eastern side and some from the northern side, but I see some, you know, no, I see no other teams on the northern side to make the rotations, so that's good, not bad. And on the southern, I see some of the teams just waiting to cross over the little bridges to just make it inside in the next zone. Still, the center is empty yet, and none of the teams are just heading for the center point. And that's a really clear advantage if you take this center, right? It is Kappa's in to make a new knock with the headshot, and he just secured the knock, right? Then it is Kafan who makes the second knock, and lots of battles are happening on the other sides too. Now it's all about for the team Morvix. You might see the name Shockwave, but that's not the real name. They're named as Morvix Esports. So from next, we'll just call the team Morvix, right? Okay, that's right. So sweet, the audiences are. Now we see team PHL being interrupted. It is indeed the team Modern, tagged as AMDs, and now just loses the first player, and then they gets getting their second player being taken down, but still they managed it for the rescue, and now the player is just getting back on feet. Still, Team AMDX not just letting it go. They want to finish off the team, and there comes the finish from the third party. It was Come Army Esport. The Cam Army Esports, yes, KAM. You might pronounce it as Kam or KAM. Okay, I should go for the KAM. That sounds good. Okay, so let's call for Team Modern. Yeah, but bro, I cannot pronounce that as Kam. I can pronounce that as Cam, and that's good. I'm just good at it. Now we see Team Execute here. And from the shielder side, okay, I was having some fun with my bro, and then I see team execute. Yeah, as they do share the name of execute, so I do expect some of the good executions from the team according to the trial roster they do have. But I still do expect for the teams to start a game with the full roster, with full 4-man roster. Yes, but still you see team executing so good and makes their first knock, and that loses team Gamerize Esports to lose one, and now all Team Gamers Esports are losing is to the players. Then I see Team Executioners, so we definitely do have two the teams sharing the same kind of name. One is named as Execute, and the other is named as Executioners. And now it's all about the urge for me that I want to see Team Executioners and Team Execute to be in a brawl, or to be in a fight, or to be in a head-to-head fight. Okay, definitely I should not use the word of brawl. I should use the word of fights, because this is not all about the seriousness about the brawls or the real brawls, but it's all about the battles. On the practical thing, on the very practical life of ours, we definitely would not love to see two mans fighting, or two nations fighting, or two soldiers fighting, but or two brothers fighting, or two friends fighting, or two couples fighting. But definitely we'd love to watch out the battles that the two teams are fighting, and it only happens in the competitions, because according to the competitions you must compete with the competitor team so that you can survive on the overall leaderboard. And that's all that matters, right? But now is the next zone getting supported on the western mid side, and there I see Team Executioners taking the northern mid part, where Team Execute is just waiting on the outside of the white edge circle, exactly on the northern western corner side. So I see that the team is just waiting for a good moment to be inside, and now it's all about the fourth stage with the 16 teams alive. And there you see Team Executioners losing out the players, but still going for the encounters with the Modern. But the Modern are not letting it that go, or not letting it go that easy, so they're just fighting back here. But Team Executioners executed it so good that the Modern are not available anymore, and that's where we found out that there was a new third party, or there was a new team to make in this fight with the third party interruption. It's Symphonics Legend, definitely indeed. By surviving solo, it's Cry X25. Yes, was not crying but laughing out too, and at the same time, he would love to cry because it loses history of the teammates. Now, it's all about for the first game, right? So we still have more 3 games to go. So, on the start of every tournament or every competition, you might want to count for the first 3 games to get the shuffles from the top to the bottom, because in the first game the teams won't have 100 points or 50 points or even 40 points. Yes, they might have 30 points as max, but you see the 1v1, it was Crikes24 who just made Team 777 Sports go crying out loud, because Team 777 Sports are not surviving anymore. Now you see only the 14 teams being able to survive on this very fourth stage, right? And on the very officials, we see lots of teams just not lots of teams, I lost the word, but the point I was trying to make is that on the officials we see only 16 teams participating on a lobby, but now on other lobbies we see 18 or 19, even 20 teams participating on the lobby. It depends on the stages, like which stage they're participating for. So it is indeed the group stage, and 2 days for the group stage, and the final will be in for 3 days. 1 days, I hope in 3 days, right? Okay. But for the next zone to be shifted in the middle, that gets the advantage for team executioners, but that leads for the disadvantages for lots of teams, those who are especially on the outside of the zones. Now, we see lots of teams on the south, we see some of the teams on the east, we see some of the teams on the north, and they need to make the rotation to get inside. It's team points indeed to deal with one, and there is team Skiddy Sport. Not bad. I loved it. I loved it. But at the end, I'd love to watch out something else. It is Team 4M XP Esports being in the problem. Only 50 seconds times left to make the entry for the next stage, but he needs to make the rescue at first so that they can survive in the duo. Now you see Team Doritos fighting with Team Execute. There goes Team Execute. I was hoping for an head-on battle with Team Executioners and Team Execute, but now I see Team Execute being just in problem by some other teams. Now there has been a new team for the elimination set. Yes, the team name would be the EN, and they might be named as EN Rage Esports. So EN Rage Esports, the name you should want to call. Now Team Execute goes fit again, and the kill feed, it's the silent commando on the screen, main screen, fighting with Team Tufan Esports. And yes, that is Tufan Esports. A Tufan Esports you might want to get in, but yes, Tufan Esports are losing the players. That's Commando taking it so good in a closing combat, in a head-to-head combat. Oh, what a reflex that was! That was such a good reflex I'd like to talk about, because the player didn't have the chance for the first kit to pop in, but still he managed to just switching the shotgun in hand as quick as he could, and then just charge in so smooth. Now we do only see 9 teams being available on this very fifth stage, where after just 8 or 5 seconds a new zone will occur. But from the southern, it's the solo player from Phoenix Legion indeed to be survived, but later he might find out there is another player, and that player would just finish him off, and that was the team Rescue Esports, also has the final player standing on this very 6th stage. Now another team would be eliminated, and that was Sinary Esports with Team Killer Crew. I seen him 4M AXP Esports losing out the players, but still indeed Rahmat is available, and his name is Rahmat. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love the name. Assalamu alaikum to you guys, because I'm also a Muslim guy. For the religion, so we should the same. Now I see Execute watching out for Executioners. There comes the dream of mine to see Team Executioners fighting with Team Execute. Now I want to see which team executes it better. It's the Executioners, by being in a 1-1-1 split in a triangle. They lost one of the players, but now all they might fear for that they won't be able to go close to the player to make in for the rescue. But what they can do, they can just lock in the crosshairs for the team Execute, and then they can just lock in like that, and then if the player tries to peek in or sneak in, then they can have the chance or the opportunities to just finish out the player. But it's the team Silent Commando, where Command 777 or 777 survived at the end by doing an 1v2 clutch against the team Tufan Esports at just early of the moment. Now we see the 5 teams available on the very 6th stage. Yes, you see team Gamerize Esports just trying to get inside, then Command 777 tried to survive. He was so lucky enough to just cross over the buggy, but not that lucky to just get in front and dodge the bullets, but he couldn't dodge the final bullets. It's all about the final 3 teams, and now I see really Team X's and DX's to be available, but somehow Team Executioners being able to rescue the player up again. But the disadvantage is you are outside of the 7th stage. Now gentlemen, this is gonna be the final battle of the first game, right? And you see Team 4MAXP Sports taking lots of eliminations. It's like 12 freaking eliminations for the team, but still Rahmat would just expect to not to be exposed or not to be just out of cover. As long as he understood that Team Executioners are just looking forward for the upper side, he just gone with the prone perspective segment, and later Blade tried to make an 1v1 with the Ministro, but no, it's just Ministro uh, mhm, being in the problem and just trying to make out the time for his teammates to make the entry close to Blade at least. But Team Executioners, what they needed is to just get inside in the next stage. But somehow Blade just calculated that how long the player can be and just tried to deal with it with just grenades. Now the grenade can deal a part. The IC Pedro, okay, takes some of the damages. The grenade comes closer. Still Blade was able to dodge it. And then Team Executioners just being in the problem. Then Blade getting eliminated by just an accurate grenade from Team Executioners. So the battle has been set. Executioners is just going in for the chicken dinner. The first chicken dinner. Still, it is the player Rahmat who just gets close to the team. And if we can just get the players in a 1v1v1, then it might be possible for him to witness or to come up with the chicken dinner, right? And if the team has the chicken dinner, that means they would have more than 20 plus points from the first game. Now you see 4 AM or 4 MAXP esports. Sometimes I just really get confused, but okay, no more confusion right now. It's the final battle between both of the teams, 4 MAXP esports and Team Executioners. But you see, Team Executioners has their firepower standing up to 75%, where Team 4MA only has the 25% firepower if you count 4 players with the firepowers. Now, the 25% chance goes for Team 4MA and 75% chance goes for the, Team Executioners. Now, it's all for the final zone shrink, and the player had to get exposed. Yes, because he was sharing the zone damages too, so he had no other option. And then there was 955 damages. Okay, so that is good, almost close to the 1000. I love it. With 5 knocks and 163 of total heals, and there was the survival time of 20 minutes and 37 seconds, and that means he survived for so long, but not till the end because his teammate was surviving, and his teammate names are, that was Rahmat, as long as I do remember. Now the MVP segment is completed. We'd like to head on for the next segment as soon as possible. The segment comes in front of us, but yeah, the top players, it's because of the competitors for the MVP segments. Now you see, after Kafan 777, it's Blade himself from Team Execute with 5 elims. Then there was Micro Eyes first from Team Executioners with 6 elims too, but he didn't have those damages counted, and that's why Kafan is there with 6 elims and total 955 of damages. Then it is command, or you can call out commands, or you can call out like commando. But I see the command, and you can pronounce it like that, but I do love it. The match ranking that says only 4 teams are here with just empty-handed. There are Team Shockwave, Cam Army Esports, 777 Esports, and Skadish. But then you can talk about the points. That's the highest point, right? It's Team 4MA indeed, 18 points for them, and Executioners 18 points for them. So both of the teams are just taking the same number of points, and then I see Team Execute just taking 11, and that sets the first 3 teams for the competitor, or on the competitor list for the competition, right? Then it's Team Silent Commander with 9 points, Team Risky Sports with 9-2, it's Killer Crew with 7-6 for Team Gamma Rays Sports, and 4-4 to the teams like 2 Funny Sports and Phoenix Legion. 3-4, 3 teams. Nice. The number is 3, and 3 teams has taken the same numbers. It's the Team Neon Rising, the Team Modern, and the Team Regnum Quayon. Check this RR Keys. Then I see 2 points been taken by 3 teams too. There is Team Enrich Esports, Morvex NGs, and Syneria Esports 2, or Syneria Esports you might want to pronounce for, but I pronounce SY as SY means Psy, but some pronounce this as C. Okay, so let's see the schedule here. Now the schedule says on the first game, this stamp was from Team Executioners with such a good control over the 7th stage that they're fighting for. and that's it, only been able to take those 18 points. But you should do remember about the team 4MA XP Esports, the team which took the same 18 number of points, and that sets for the team to fight neck for neck or neck to neck on the next games. The team who would have 1 point at first would be in the lead. The team who would cross over 2 points at first would be on the counter lead again, and that's where the competition sets up for the first two teams, Team Executioners and Team 4MA XP Esports. Gentlemen, upcoming next, the match will be on the Miramar map, and that'll be more interesting because lots of teams are participating, and that means they do need a lot of places to roam with. They need a bigger map, they need a big place, right? So it's me, your quick, you're getting back again on the concert desk on the Pmmt Heatwave on the PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament. So now let me take a little bit of break and I'll just come back after a short little one, I promise. Stay tuned. Gentlemen, welcome back again on the caster desk and welcome back again on the tournament and for the competition. Right now I got some of the informations to provide to you guys so that you can understand like what opportunities the teams are having here. But give me some seconds. Okay, so I'm back. I was just trying to drink some. Now, oh, I was trying to drink the water, not any other things. Now let's get the match back again, or let's get back on the match again, right? But the thing is, the point I was trying to make, it's the flight path they do not need to be worried about because 19 teams are there, and the teams would have the drop locations by so far, even if they have to glide on, or even if they do need to just use the vehicles, right? But thing is, only the top two teams from these groups are getting on the grand finale, and then from the third position to the 10th position, according to the points after 4 games for this group, the teams would have a next stage called as the survival stage, and then there we decide the the teams, those who would be on the grand finale, or those who can qualify for the grand finale, right? So for now we can just be focusing, yeah, for now we can just focus for the top two teams, like which teams would be on the top two segments, because they won't be just facing this survival stage anymore. So that's what we're looking for at first, and then also look out for the next top 10 position for because only the top 10 position for the survival stages, right? So if you are in the top 10 positions after the four games or after the overall rankings, by playing the four games, uh, then you are in the safe zone. But on the 11th position, you are not in the safe zone. So there we do know that which is the safest zone and which is the red zone, right? So now we'd love to talk about the green zone and the red zone and the yellow zone. Okay, so the green zone is for the first one and two position. The yellow zone is for the third to 10th position, and the red zone is for the 11th to the bottom position. It's like 20, right? So you understand the segment for now. Now, if you see any team on the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, and so on, then they would be called as they're in the red zone, so they need to be in the yellow zone. And then if we see to the teams on the number one and the two position, then we'd call them on the safest green zone. And that's how I'm just trying to express or explain the competition, like how hard it's gonna be and what's the gap the teams are sharing for the competition, right? That'll be easy to understand for you to enjoy the competition. Now you see the pickout location there. We see Team Morvix fighting with Team Attack on Enemy, and Attack on Enemy had nothing to do. There was lots of grenades in the compound. Inside of the compound, the player just thought about to just switch out the position, but he couldn't. At the end, we see Team AOE tagged as AOE, but named as Attack on Enemy. I see the anime, and there was the Attack on Titans, and now I see the name Attack on Enemy. That's really great. But now the team only do share to the players in the survival, but they have to fight with Team Morvix. It's gotta be a 2v4 in this segment of the fight. Now it's only the pick out the location, right? So there are lots of other teams who shares a neighbor team with them on their drop direct locations. It's indeed the team Rescue Esports, trying to look out for the players, trying to scout them out, trying to just make a strategy for them. But in every dropless battles, it's just about the 50-50, the half of the chances you're getting, just the 50-50. You do not know what is going to happen, so you better watch out before you take any actions, right? So now it's all about the Phoenix Legion, and now the team loses onto here, and that sets them in duo, in two of them. They were on the top ninth. They only had 4 points on them. But after the first game, the team for AMA AXP Esports also got an 18 points for them, and that means with Team Execution and Team 4MA sharing the same point. Now one for the crossover and two for the counter crossover. You can understand what I'm saying, right? But for Team Execute and Team RCs, Team SCXs, and Team KKs, I'm just taking the tags. And also for the Team GMRs, Team Shiny, they're in some good position. But if you want to just take the tabletop position on number one, you need to have total 19 points so far. But you need to make sure that the tabletoppers are just getting empty-handed. Because if you're just counting for the 19 points or one plus, rather than the teams you're having, then the team should be in empty-handed on this very second game, right? But now we know that who are the dominators or who can dominate better. But every team is just getting serious and match by match. Now you see the first stage becomes the end stage, and nobody wants to just expose themselves because they do not want any player losses. Now it's all about the master and Pixela 7, Dorky, and Uik. Okay, Uik name. I love the pronunciation. It's fashion taking down that guy. That guy. Nice. It's like I pronounced in Russian or in Russian like that. Okay, that was amazing. It's the name of Neon Rising, and they do want to rise. Yeah. They only have 3 points on their point counts, but they do share the same position with the Morvix. Now I see Team Attack on Enemy getting hunted down by the Morvix, where Pasta just gets close, and David somehow understood that he might be, oh my goodness, needing the support, and there goes the support. It's Alu. who gets the support for the team. Alu means potato in my language, in my country. So now I say Alu getting just backstabbed, not a backstab, getting just taken down with just an alter angle. It was David who understood that a grenade was just been charged from the team Morvix in such good accurate way, but David tried to go for the 1v2 and somehow you bad. Why you bad? Yeah, gets the support for the team. So the Morvix Angels would survive again, and the first dropless battle is just completed. And now it's all about the next battle to be witnessed. Team Skydish just got interrupted by Team Shiny, and also Team Shiny gets their first player getting knocked out. Now, but the team loses their first players. It's indeed the Team Sineria Esports to go on for the head-on fight, but somehow Team Sineria Sports has gotten the split in the back end, and this split has been taken away too. Not the split, it's the closing combat. Now, Quick Duel is just in some problematic zone where he couldn't just change his position, and that was Tarzan, the wonder guy, who actually took the player down. And then it was the UMP-45 in the making, but that weapon mechanism is such good. But look at Saint. Oh, going in the first knock, going for the second knock. He needs the rescue, not the rescue. He needs the reload for now, and he needs to just use the first aid kit to be popped in. And there goes the final try, but he couldn't make the 1v3 clutch. At the end, Tarzan gets the revenge and completes the battle, and that gets them the opportunity to just rescue up their players. Those were in the bleed out situation. Now it's all about for the Enrage Sports to scout down the area, but then you see Team 4MA, the second competitors for the leaderboard of the first game, being in a head-to-head situation where Cam just gone with mini 14, and that gets Team 4MA to lose out their first player. But they're still not losing the player. Still there is the chance to get the player being in rescued. But now I see Team Execute being in problem, being in, yeah, they are in trouble. That's it. Team Execute loses the second player. It's not going really good for the Team Execute, as I was having a good urge or in wish you might count for that I want to see Team Executioners to fight with Team Execute. But later I find out that every time I just have this urge on my mind, it will not just be like that because of the rotations, because of the gaming strategies for both of the teams. Both shares different strategies, and now it's Team Execute too, just trying to be in cover, but I think that will not work for long, as the Team Skytis is just trying to Skidis. Yeah, if there was an H in the name, then I could have just pronounced the name as Skidis, but or Skydis, but now I can only pronounce it as Skytis. Okay, but it's the Team Silent Commando. Like there's a CX found out about the player, took the player down by taking 3 different angles, and that's when the player found himself in such an unsafe position. So he tried to encounter with it, but he couldn't do that much on that position, and that sets Team Execute being in solo. It's only the final 16 teams to deal from the second stage by Rishi Kafan 777. Did so great in this close combat, but 4MA are not giving it up. Still, they're trying to fight back. That's Endrick. Oh my goodness. Endrick just thought to just cross over to Pat, just get close to the players, but then he couldn't. And then it's Meave waiting for the player to get inside, but no, he had no time left to go for the pick shots. And their Team 4MAXP Esports just, delivering the rage over the death crates and just trying to announce the team that, we're so aggressive. So next time if you face us, just make sure that you're getting in an aggressive mood too, because only aggressiveness can cut off the aggressiveness. But, intelligence with aggressiveness can cut off anything. Now we see Neon Rising, trying to pin out the grenade, and that's where the bait worked. The player thought that Wizard Boss has the grenade in hand, so it will take some time for him to switch to the weapon. But later he tried to go with the jump shot, but Wizard Boss, as soon as he understood that the bait worked. He just switched to him to the shotgun. He tried to go for the second player too, but the second player just came in close and just finished the player off, and that gets Team Indian Rising to be eliminated completely. Now we do only share the 13 teams on this very second stage. On the very first game, the team were looking like they were playing the grand finale, but now they are just fighting like, yes, it's not the grand finale, but it's the competition like the grand finale. Every team is serious, so serious. Now you see Team GRM's fighting with Team 4MAs, and that gets Team 4MA losing out to the players, and now the losers all. What? The losers all? 4MA XP Sports, the second competitors after taking the first 4 points, they became the first competitor there, but now they're not surviving anymore. So they only share 22 points in total. But later you see Team Modern taking the support, getting the next support too. That was a back-to-back. But Team Executioners knows which place to take in and where to encounter with. They have encountered it with... Oh shit, that was such close. But LVK7 got the encounter so good, and that gets Team Executioners in trouble because only final players is just left, and now the final player encountered it good too. He just dealt with the head damages, and that sets the Team Modern just stop right there. But the Modern, will they be able to rescue the players? Yeah, they would go for the rescue time. One of the player will left, so the other one would definitely have the time to get the pressure back again for the Team Executioners. But later when LVK7 came closer, he understood that there might be some grenades coming in for them to hunt him down. But now he takes the grenade in hand again. He understands there is a different player on the different angle, different segment. The grenade gets the blast, and then LVK7 took out the player by switching the weapon to the shotgun, and then he found out about the final angle too. And that's nasty. Yeah, nasty 77. It's nasty. But Nasty just finds out that this is not the right moment to fight back, so he'd love to fall back and to get into the next third stage, just to make sure that he watches the players, or he watches the Modern to just make out for the rotations, right? But now the Modern would be so careful when they'd go for the rotation. But I think not. I think they change it different. No, they change it to the different path. But still, they can look out for the final player, right? So let's hope for the best. It's just the 22 points at the tabletop. So if any team wants to get on the tabletop, they need to just deal with the final end game or on the final zones, so that they can be inside. Now you see Team Executioners still being available after the battle we just witnessed earlier. Then you see Team SCX and Team RC is to just, going with smoothness. Team SCX been able to take the first 6 points for them. Then Team RC has been able to take the first 3 points for them. Team GMR, they started it so good, got the first 3 points. Team Skytish getting the first 8 points, and Team Skites, you can talk about that too. I was pronouncing like the Indian accent. It's like a Skytish. Okay, man, what is that? But okay, let me troll myself later. Let me get back on the competition at first. It's Skites esports to fight with one, and maybe that's an head-on-head fight. Yeah, that's a close combat game, I think so. But on the Miramar terms of games, people doesn't have that close combat games that much. It's the biggest map, right? But later when it's about the Rondo map, it's never the biggest map anymore. The Rondo map would be the biggest map ever implemented on this PUBG mobile game right now. And the smallest map in the competition was the which one? Vikendi, yeah. Okay. How did I forgot about his name? But now it's all about the Modern. Oh my goodness, that was not expected. Abula, who just thought about to charge the grenade on the shack so that the player gets outside or gets out. But later they got encountered with the team support. But now it's all about for Team Modern. It's Hidan 13 to just be in cover, but he thought to be in cover, but he was not actually in cover. Then Team Morvex finished it off? No, 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 no. The thing got changed, got shuffled in just a second. Team Modern just got survived, and look out for LVK7. All the supports are coming out from this side. I might miss some informations, but later I know that the Morvix were able to take just 4 points from this game. At least they're not getting out empty-handed. Not bad, but you need to have a good coach for the teams to fight it good. Yeah, but the teams already does it better and better than before. I see team Silent Commando being on the edge side. It's the very fourth stage, and the team Silent Commando just changing the or taking the path on the edge side. But now that's set for the battle with Team Rescue Sports. At Team Rescue Sports just scouting on this area and found out about the positions, about the angles, the splits. This formation is not bad. Nobody can come on the middle side. I say Reefers using the grenade. The grenade goes up and then it deals some damage. Team GRM, Gamer Rise Esports, they are maintaining the tag of GRM. Not bad, but you know, it's the lead that comes upon the team known as Camera Esports. Now they are having the first 4 points. Yeah, as I told you, or as I said to you, that on the first three games, the tabletopper would be shuffled again and again and again on the first three games. Then on the very fourth number of game, the competition begins actually. But I found out about that the first two teams would only have the chance to be in the grand finale directly, and then the rest from the third to the 10th position, the teams would have only the survival stage, and later they'll just find or fight for the grand finale stage. But you'd never want the survival stage at the beginning. You just target for the first tabletoppers positions so that you can just avoid the survival stage, right? You see, so teams getting eliminated, and that leads them in danger. It was Team Rescue Sports indeed to be eliminated by Team KKs. The tag KK shares which team? I need to find out that. I'm trying to find that out. But yeah, I found that out. It's Killer Crew. I found that. Team Executioners being eliminated. Now the tabletoppers being hunted down. And then the fourth competitor, Team Rescue Sports, also are not surviving anymore. And that means Team SCX has gotten a big chance to be on the tabletop by this game. It is indeed the competition. You look out for the live ranking fade, man. It's the southern part on the minimap on the very fifth stage where we'd see the chaoses being running out, and later we'd find out that Team Skites would fight with the Team Modern. We just witnessed Team Modern been fighting with Team Morvix, but later we see Team Skites Esports being on the lead with Team Modern. Now Team Modern loses the first player here, and that gets them the survival of the final duo from the team. Still, they do not have that much points. Now Tarzan gets the alter angle. Yeah, that's an off angle to be said about. Now he goes with the grenade. The grenade goes, deals with some of the damages. Later, the team gets the first knock from the eastern angle. And now they're just going in with lots of spams instead of the smokes. They do want to find out about the final player. Now they want to go for the spams. And later, Tarzan spams in and traces the player instead of the smoke. What is that? It's just the 12 elimination points in the making for the Team Skite. And look at them. On the very first game, they didn't have any points. And now they do share 12 points in total. And that means Team Skite, as they come back on the very second game, as I was trying to explain the competition right now, it's all about for the next zone to be shifted. And the zone shifts in the middle. And this zone being so competitive for some of the teams of the southern. I see Team Execute with Team Skites sharing the same outside, with both team shares the distance of 100 meters to be in the next sixth stage. It's only the final 40 seconds for them to making this in. But Team Killer Cruise with the pronunciations. It's so fun, but the competition is so serious. All about it's Enrage Esports on the northern side, just being solo its master. How can he change the game? That's a question, right? But let me answer that. He can change the game by just interrupting with a different team. Imagine a team ACX fighting with team KKs or team Skites, right? Then Enrage Sport just encounters with one of the team. And that means the team is just getting the pressure, and that means the opponent should have the advantage to pressure them down too. And that's how Master would just make the game change. Yes, that's all, my lord. But now, what Master is having the visuals of Team Skites Esports. Later, Team Killer Crew Esports takes the decision to be on top to slam in directly toward the compounds, and then it was Team Execute to be eliminated on the final fourth stage. I see that. See that, not Team Execute. Yeah, that was Team Execute, but I saw Team Enrage Esports 2 to be getting eliminated. So the game change would not happen right now. It's all about the final game to deal with. The seventh stage, only having 1 minute of time. Team Killer Chris loses their angle on the roadside. That is Shoki 10 to be taken away. And still Team Killer Chris has gotten the chance to go for the rescues, but I think not, as Lamela would just go with the grenades, and that grenade might deal with the players. But Baka Baka from Team Killer Chris just encounters it with a new grenade, and then grenade dealt for Team SCX to lose out their first player. Now Team Skites understands and reads out the kill feed, and they do understand the situation, right? So this is the perfect moment for the third party, and they're just coming inside. Then Kali JR or Kali Junior just takes the knock, and that gets the Team Killer Crew another lead. Only two the players survives from the Team Killer Crews, and then Team Skites gets the grenade knock. It's Ghost indeed to take down Kali. Then Team Killer Crews just getting close and getting regrouped, but the next grenade might get them in trouble. Then Tarjan just tries to get the next angle from the northern side to find out about the players, but it's Commando to surprise out these Skites, and then Commander to be taken away just like that by Tarzan. What a support by Tarzan, right? But it's all about the final battle, and the first rescue has been completed. Team Skites loses lots of time to be interrupting again, and then Tarzan makes it in the point again, and then Baka Baka would be in such low HP, but Tarzan makes the second knock from the back end, and later Baka Baka makes the second knock. It's the Ghost that has been taken away, and that sets the game in between the two of the teams on an 1v1. Now it's all about the Tarzan from Team Skites to be taken 17 freaking eliminations, and Tarzan took 7 eliminations of himself alone. So he's really a good player. He knows how to deal with the final battle. He tries to go with the shot. He just got the visual for one time, and the final kill been secured. Tarzan from Team Skites actually eliminates the final player. Such a quick move, such a quick response. And that was as quick as you can imagine. With just a slight visual, he was able to secure the final player, and that's it. Team Killer Crit to be eliminated, and they defended the chicken dinner. But the conversion at the end of the match was so hyped up. The Skites did so great, and this time they had to come back, and that means they would definitely have their number one position coming up on the top again, and they were leaderboard. But you might want to see the final blow, how it happened. Yeah, you see, Team Skites we're having 12 eliminations so far, and later after Baka Baka made the 1v1 with Ghost, and Tarzan just switches the position to the southern part, and then with just that slight visuals, he just used the shotgun in hand. The stealth is so good that you might fall in love with. Now it's Tarzan to be taken 10 freaking eliminations by himself in solo. Then his teammate also has those 4 or 6 eliminations, and that counts them total getting 20 eliminations. And with the chicken dinner, this team only just played this game and gets 30 points from this game so far. We just saw after the first game that the table toppers were having 18 points, but then we saw what on the very second game, the Team Skites Esport has the 30 points for the comeback. That's so great. It was the 74 of eliminations so far, and 78 of eliminations. Then there was 7,814 total healings, and 2 of the grenade eliminations and 42 assists. But I see the match summary getting higher and higher again and again. Yeah, but 74 eliminations, what does it mean? That means the teams were just fighting continuously or simultaneously at different places, but they were not, you know giving much chance for the opponents to be getting the recalibration or to be recalibrated again, right? Okay, gentlemen, now two the matches are eliminated or completed. We do only have two more matches to deal for the competition. Now you see the head-on-head segment. Yes, it's the head-to-head where I see Skites with Team Killer Crews, but Team Skites just dealt it with lots of damages, with lots of eliminations, with lots of total points. But then Team Killer Crew takes some good number of points. You need to have more than 12 plus points per game to make it out for the consistency to be in the top 5 teams. Yeah, no, for the 12 plus points per game, that means you definitely have the championship title. But this is not the grand finale. This is the semi-finals, and then there will be another round, and that will be the pre-finals. But only the 7 teams from 3rd to the 10th position have this opportunity to just play for the pre-finals stage. But the first top 2 teams from the semi-final stages would have the direct grand finale slot. Later, I see Tarzan takes the 10 solo eliminations from the single game by dealing total 1228 damages, more than 1200 plus. That's so great to talk about. And then the top players after this game, right? Tarzan, later we see Olf, then it's for LVK7, then it's for Ghost, and Lamela. Elamela or Lamela. 77k, nice, but 10, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's the count. 1228, 10 or 1069, and then 889, 952, 717. Not bad, huh? Not bad. On the overall leaderboard, we definitely have some shuffles by these players. Absolutely, Tarzan did it so great, but the maths ranking stat says only the 4 teams are not having any points. One of them didn't participate, and that was the team Shockwave, but later I see Team Tufani Sports, Team Regnum Queon, and Team Phoenix Legion would have just 0 points from this game, but you see Team Skites getting 30 points from this game. That's so huge. Killer Crews getting 16. Silent Commanders getting 15. Team Modern has 7. And Regi Sports has the 7 points. Regi Sports has the 7 points too. Then 5 points for Team Sineria Esports. 4 points for Team Morvex Ingish. And 4 points for Team 4MF for AXP Esports. 3 points for Team Execute and 3 points for Team Rescue Sports too. 1 point for 5 teams in total. 1 Neon Rising. 1 7 or 777 Esports, 1 Cam Army Esports, 1 Attack on Enemies, and 1 for Team Executioners. And that's it. The teams were having that much of point from 2 games. Now we see the competition, right? It's the new table toppers named as Skites getting those 30 points. And that means we do know that on the very first game they didn't get any point, even just 1 point. Yeah, but on the very second game they just dealt with it with just 30 points from a single game. Oh wow. Team SCX getting 24. These are the top 2 teams after the first 2 games. Team KK is being so close to Team SCX, just trading 1 point for the gap. Then Team 4MS getting 22, 1 point for the gap. It's the top 4 teams. In the top 5 we see Team Executioners. In the top 6 we see Team Execute. I was talking for a head-to-head fight with Team Executioners and Team Execute. Later I see that Team Executioners and Team Execute fights on the overall leaderboard in a head-to-head situation with 19 points. But Team Execute needs more 6 or more 5 points to just compete in a neck-to-neck situation with Team Executioners. Now it's Team GMRs getting 13. Team RC is getting 12, Team MDX getting 10, Team EN's getting 9. Team Sign is getting 7, 6 for Team Morvex, 4 for Team PLHX, and 4 for Team Neons. Then 4 points for Team OGs, and that means if you want to get close or get inside the top 5 list, you need to have 20 plus points, right? To be on the top second, you can have 25 plus points. For the teams those have 10 points, only needs 15 more points. You can talk about Team MDX. Those who has 10 points for them, right? They only need 15 points to just take make it a total 25 points and then be on the top second. But the condition is they need to just eliminate Team SCX at first, so that Team SCX won't be able to take any more points, and that sets the competition right. Later, you see some of the teams on the bottom side to just still hoping for the comeback, but we see the top players list. It's Tarzan, it's Command, it's LVK7, it's Olf, and it's Kafan. It's still the same after the second game. Tarzan just being the table topper by just one game. And Team Skites has the logo just look like Superman. So the real Swiss Supermans are here. It's the Tarzan. Actually, Tarzan is, Tarzan is a name that actually shares the Superman kind of theory. Then Olf 99 and Kafan, LVK7 and Command did very well, but according to the damages, all the players shares kind of same or close to them. Then now we see the schedule. The upcoming match would be on the Rondo map. Okay, it's just the new map that I've been witnessing for such a short time, but later I'll try to call out the locations. But Skych has their tag slammed on the second game. That's such a good game, but I can have this small break. So let me get back the little break for me and then I'd come back. Stay tuned. I got my water with me, supporting my vocal. And now, gentlemen, welcome back again after such a short little break. You see, I promised that we'd have a such short break, and it was such a short break. Yeah, I just completed my promise. Now you can complete yours by subscribing on the Morvix Esports YouTube channel, where you are watching the competition for your favorite teams or chosen teams or supported teams. Yeah. And then you can comment down something if you want to comment down, or if you want to share any of the compliments you'd love to. Now, let us look out for the flight path. This Rondo map comes with two versions. Like on the northern side, you see that looks like the Miramar segment. On the southern and the mid part, that looks like the Erangel, but with the same vibe of Sanox too. Now you see the locations. It's a hybrid map, so you see the locations named in such good, but a stadium. Okay, it's the circle that looks so small, but according to the map, this map is the greatest and the biggest map. Actually, not the greatest, but the biggest map in terms of PUBG Mobile competition. And then you can understand, as being the biggest map, this zone would also be big. But we see lots of drop clash battles happening here. Team RQs takes the first point. And now Team RQs looks forward for the second points too. And that might be some the team. What is the name for? I'd love to watch it for the name. And that's Enrage Esport. Yes, it's the Enrage Esport. But lose the second player. Oh, there comes the support from Pixela 7. Where you'd want to go for the clutch. Just switching on the position. Now he needs the reload, but no, the jump shot was so deadly that he avoided the jump shot. He dodged it. Then it's Ace AE or Sai to go for the closing comeback. He gets a good open in the hand, and then he finds out the play. But Pixela makes the second knock too. This player really plays well. Team Enrage Esport did encounter it with good skills, such good skills, with dodging and the ability to trace down a player with such a good reflection. I love that. But later you can talk about Team Phoenix Legion. It's blast for real. Getting blasted by Kappa Zin. And then it was the final player from Team Phoenix Legion to survive. I'd expect that this solo player would do great. At least he can take one of the points, but the silent commando watches for the battles to be happening at first. Then they would love to interrupt, but no, Team Silent Commando getting stabbed from the front side, not from the back side, but that was not expected from the team's side, right? It's still Phoenix Legion. Oh my goodness, waits for the player to get inside, but at first the player opens the door, and then Cry X25 makes out a player to be crying out loud. Then Seijo X makes one of the player to be finished, and then takes the second player knocked down too. But Cry X25 goes for the second knock. Oh my goodness, look at the third knock. Cry X25 makes in 1-3 clutch here. And that's a really good clutch. And now he switches the position. Oh my goodness, he goes for the second knock too. There's the fourth knock maybe, or the fourth time. Yeah, but Craig 25 goes for the first hit pop in. And the healing up is completed. He goes inside and then he goes for the pre-fire. There comes the 1v4 clutch from Craig 25, and the whole team is crying out in the corner for now. And actually that was amazing. It just make me go in hyped. But in my country, in my region, it's just 1:32 a.m. It's midnight, so I cannot shout that loud. So my neighbors and my family members would just beat me up at this midnight, like, hey Amor, what are you doing? You're just interrupting our sleeping time. But the moment that was as hyped as I was going in. Look at the battle, look at this skill, look at the competition that is sitting on. Phoenix Legion did it so great at Cry. The decision to get inside by switching the FPP and just continuously spraying down or spraying in. I loved it. Later, I see Team Neon Rising. They tried the same with a new team. That was Team Shimi maybe. But no, we just lost 3 teams. One or the team just missed the competition. That was Team Shockwave. But later, some other teams are just fighting so good. It's the final 17 teams to deal on this random map, and this is the 3rd game for this group. Every group gets 4 games per night. Yes, this is the group number A, and later tomorrow that'll be the group number B. And from 2 the groups, only 4 teams can go on the grand finale directly by not participating on the survival stage. It's like the officials roadmap. The officials, what they do actually, they do it, they keep their roadmaps like this. The table toppers or the top 3 teams get on the grand finale at first, and the rest of the teams just get on the survival stage, but only some of the teams because it's only the qualification process. So only those team can get qualified, those has in the safe zone, or those have their position in the safe zone, right? But what is the red zone? The red zone is the 11th position, and from the 11th to the bottom 20th or 19th. So that's it. But which teams are on the red zone right now? It's Team Morvex, it's Team Neon Rising, it's Team PLHX, it's Team MDX, and Team RRQs, also Team ODs and Team ADEs. Yes, because they're on the red zone. And this match is very, very important for them. If they want to be in the yellow zone for the survival phase, they need to have more than 15 plus points, because Team Execute has this 14 points on them, and the team is having the 6th position so far. And that means if you do take more than 15 plus points, it'll be on the safest yellow zone at first, and then you can fight for the green zone, right? Only the green zone gets the grand finale at first. Now you see the teams getting just getting in trouble. One of the team I can see would be Team Rescue Esports, but now they can earn the name by rescuing the players one by one up again. But for Team RRQs, it's just going so smooth for them. But now they are on the EMP zone, and the EMP zone says you just EMP zone. No, because on the EMP zone you cannot use the vehicles. But this is a new zone. Like, what zone is this? Why this location is just getting marked out? I need to find that out. Rondo map has lots of special abilities. You can just, make some. You can just dig in on the, on the which side? On which side? Everywhere. You can just dig in everywhere to just make covers. Rondo has especially been made for the ground battles, and that's why it has come up with the good advantage with the grenade. If you just charge in a grenade, and where the grenade gets the gets blasted, the zone becomes digged in, or the place becomes digged in where you can take the spot. At least you can take the covers, right? For Team RRQs, it was such a good elimination point. The team actually eliminated Team Risky Sports. That's why Team Risky Sports couldn't rescue the players. Okay. So that was marked because it will be in the EMP zone. So some of the teams from the southern are not on the southern, but on the eastern side is on the EMP zone, and the EMP zone means you cannot use the vehicle. So the teams are just sharing the location. Would definitely mm, be in a danger zone, right? It's the third game, so absolutely later we just watch out for the final game too. But before the final game comes up, we want to look out for the competition, like how many cap points the teams are sharing, right? But now it's all about the Team 2 Funny Sports. Yes, going in for the compounds, and then Team Execute just being in solo. Uh, you see that? You see that? Because of the vehicle, the structure was getting destroyed. That's why on the map is all about. For it's Team 2 Funny Sport chicken in the south and just waiting to get inside in the next second stage, but not to get inside, because this zone will not get you that much disadvantages for the health cutoffs. But Team 2 Funny Sports are just eagerly waiting for an head-on fight, but they only do have two of the players, right? So they need to make it in a hurry, and then to be accurate about the positions that they're taking in. So now I think Team Cam Army Esports in trouble. Yeah, they are in trouble. It's Team Skite and Team Skite versus Cam Army Esports. This fight is gonna be awesome. Yeah, this fight is gonna be awesome. Okay, give me some time. Yeah, I just got the time to type in, and now I want to watch out for the zone shift. It's in the middle, but on the western side, not in the eastern, and that sets the eastern mid in a chaotic zone. On the southern, you see a chaos been happening within 2 Funny Sports with Team RQs. Okay, that'll be dealt as soon as possible. They just get in the positions, but on the eastern mid, it forces on the teams that are waiting to be inside at this zone, right? And that means Team Cam Esports would also be in trouble because of Team Skites. But you have seen how much points Team Skites were being able to take on the previous second game, right? And now it's all about Team MDX2, named as Team Modern, fighting with Team Killer Chris from the kill feed. I see that Team Killer Chris loses one, and that means they're just losing out the fire powers. That'll obviously be problematic for the team on the end zones. But for Team Morvix Esports, it's not going that smooth. Team Skites Esports gets close to the Team Morvix and takes to the players down, and that sets Team Morvix Esports to lose out to the players. Now it's Pasta and Rage, yes, but I do love Pasta. But it's Rage too, but I do not love Rage that much. But Rage is all about powers, right? Right? Every person has Rage in them, has power in them, if they utilizes it. But Rage would be definitely taken down by Outlaw, because that was a vehicle trace moment, and Outlaw did it so good after his teammate actually did it better, or actually make the player loses his HP. So later it just only needed 2 or 3 ammos for the next knock to be happening in. Then in Rage Esport, you can talk about them too on the northern side. Yes, after the loss of the two players for the team just thinks to be in the end game. Later, I see Pasta dealing with one and taking another point that sets Team Phoenix Legion to be eliminated. But you can look out for Pasta here being spotted by Team Killer Crews, and Killer Crews trying to deal with it. But Pasta trying to use out the med kit here. I think he will be using the med kit. Yeah, he should use that. It's RQ babies to just interrupt with the segment. It's Abula 999 on the kill feed to be in the lead first. Then Team Skites. No, that was Team Silent Commando fighting with Team Executioners. You see the zone. It's getting a new shift again on the northern sides. On the southern and the eastern teams would definitely face the problem to be in again. But on the northern side, it's really going so smooth. AOEs, attack on enemies, are no more. It's on the southern. Team Executioners getting a good position. Morvix NGs being eliminated. Cam Army Esports waiting for the fight with Team RQs to happen in. Then I see that was Mir or Mar. It's Mar and Mir. Okay, Mivzi. Okay, and Mar. Maybe. Just maybe. Tarzan. Okay, taking a knock. That was Dragnil. I can clearly pronounce the name. It's Dragnil to be eliminated. But Regnum or RRQs trying to deal it as fast as possible. Phoenix in the kill feed makes a clutch with Team Neon Rising, and Team Neon loses 2. That gets Team Neon Rising not 2, but yeah, one of the players in the knock. I see Team Phoenix. Oh my goodness. Phoenix 28 gets a new knock to the kill feed. RQs losing 1. Kamar gets the knock. And now that gets sets the fight in a conversion in a 3v2. Now Cam Army Esports, it's Mar indeed, or Mir. You could say it's Mir, but I'd like to say it as Mar, M-E-R, or Mir. Mir can be a good pronunciation. I do like to tweak out the names. I do love that. But Rex, Regum, Koyon, actually goes in with the latest, but for Team Execute it's not anymore, and it is never anymore until this third game gets ended. Now Team Execute would be on the danger zone. Team Execute just being eliminated with just 14 points. They're just praying that the bottom teams won't have the comeback, but you see the bottom teams getting eliminated, so that means they're losing the chances. But for Team Cam for Team Cam Esports, it's like a good opportunity for this game, particularly if they just survives until the next until the next end game happens. At least they would love to take the placement points of just by being in top 5 teams. I hope so, but you see Team Skites getting the best position so far, but from the Eastern, Team RQ takes this path on the Eastern, and they're getting just gate kept by the Skites Esports. Still, by just playing one game, Team Skites being the table topper. On this third game, Team Skites taking more 5 eliminations. That gets them on that first position again. But for Team Modern, it's a good moment going in with Team RQs. Team Modern has gotten the first point by just cutting off 1 player. But Team RQ is being stopped there, and then Team Modern would just get close to the player and then just expose him. On this outside, it's just the closing game, and D2E just thought to get close, but getting eliminated from the off angle from Team Modern. And their Team Modern just found out about a new team, and that was Team Skites Esports. Maybe it's gonna be a good consistent game for Team Skites because they're just making it for the consistency. You see that Team Modern getting close from the southern, doesn't have much more times left to not be inside of the next stage. They're just on the outside, and they'll be get kept by Team Skites as Team Skites has the supported zone, right? But Gamer Rise Esports waits for the opportunity to just secure down the player. He can go for the finish, but he finds that If he goes for the finish by the spray, then it definitely expose himself. Later, I see on the fifth stage, lots of teams are just fighting on, but it was tricks of Gamer Rise Esports to be exposed, and that's where Sky's Esports spotted the player while he was trying to get inside by just making the rotation on foot without any vehicles. But the Sky's Esports going in again so smooth, it's Outlaw to charge in that grenade, and that grenade deals the first knock. There he charges the second grenade by following up the previous trail, and now he's just going in for the next grenade too, and that grenade deals a second knock here. Yes, Team Sky's Esports just loses the zone support for now, and now what they need is to just clear their path to just be inside on this next sixth stage with 1 minute of time. But they're going with lots of grenades and lots of elites, and then finds out about the player in such a compromisable location, because they compromised the player by just getting close to the player. Then Team Modern being eliminated. Only the final 6 teams survives on this very third game. Sky Esports takes their 11 eliminations. Again, they're just keeping it up. And Team KK is taking 3 eliminations. That means they just shuffled Team SCX and Team 4MH. Then Team Executioners is still surviving, but Team Executes are not. But Team Sky watches out for Team Executioners, and this time Team Executioners being interrupted, and that was Nasty to be taken down just like that. But Nasty has gotten a good cover by the vehicle, so that Team Sky Esports won't be having him with just spamming in. But then Ministro has a good support for the player to just smoke here or use the smoke share for the visual blockage. It's still there on the northern western side, and that means they need to be inside as soon as possible. But then Executioners stop being spotted by Team Sky's Esports. Again, Team Sky's Esports has their lead, but Team Executioners just needs the support. Now it's Ministro to get close again. Charges the smoke, but Team Sky Esports gets closer. Oh my goodness, Team Sky Esports, what's their plan? Their plan is to just make up the pressure, and while the team just dealing with the pressure, they just get close to the team and just eliminate them by dealing with more pressures. Now it's all about Team Sky Esports to just control down this 7th stage. They found out about every position, and every position is just compromised. Team Executioners will be definitely eliminated, and now we'll have only 3 teams available with us. It's Team Sky, it's Team KKs, and it's Team GMRs or GRMs. Yes, Gamer Rise Esports. Yeah, right now only has one of the players, but can go with surely the encounters, but later Outlaw found it out, and just by getting in the alter angle, Outlaw keeps the best support possible. Now it's all about for Team Sky Esports to deal with Team KKs, but look out Team Sky Esports' strategies. Look out how they're using the strategies, how they're using the grenades for the executions, and how they're using the splits after the grenades, right? Yeah, it's Tarzan indeed to find out about the next split, and then Tarzan finished the final play too, and that's it. Team Skytes gets a bit of a chicken dinner on the very third game. Congratulations for Team Skytes to deal the competition like this. And that's where Team Sky becomes the table toppers. Definitely, this team is having the grand finale after this stage, after the next game, because no other team would be able to cross over to them on the final game, because the points are so higher and so high. You can just talk about 50 plus, almost 60. Previously, they had a total of 30 points, and now they would definitely have 28 plus points. I hope so. If that is okay, so there was 12, and that means they would have 4 points. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Oh, it was like 18, 28 points. I hope so. So 28 points means 58 points in total for the team. Yeah. 18 eliminations with the chicken dinner gets them 28 points, and that means previously they had 30, so it's 58. Oh, I'm a best counter or calculator, but I'm not the best calculator, right? There are some kiddos who can beat me by calculating the points or the numbers faster than me, so I'd not be a competitor even on that position. So now let's congratulate Team Sky for now, as the third game goes so good for the team. Now the contribution, about the contribution, it was the trial from the team's side, still being in trial. That wasn't any problem for the team, as Ghost takes 7 elims. and his teammates also gets the same. But the match summary says on Rondo we do have 64 total eliminations, and then we see 7 grenade elims, 26 total assists, and 0 of vehicle eliminations, and 8,211 of total healings, and 63 of total knockout. That's it. The match summary got ended. Now we'd love to watch it for the head-to-head segment, and then watch it for the MVP, right? Yes. So at first the head-to-head that comes up in front of us, and Skych gets the higher damages again, gets the higher eliminations again, gets the highest points again. Team Killer Crews gets the minimum average points for the competition to be in on the yellow zone, and only the final games are left for the teams to understand like if they would be in the yellow zone, in the safest zone or not. It's Outlaw indeed from Team Skych who gets the 7 elims, and obviously Ghost from the same team gets the 7 eliminations too, but couldn't take the damage more than Outlaw. So Outlaw clearly has the higher damage here, and that's why he became the MVP on the segment, because now the officials has made that the damage would be counted as the higher one on the MVP segments. Now you'll see the top players as Outlaw. After him, his teammate Coast will be there, but Coast only dealt with 1017 damages, and then Kali Jr. from Team KK's with a 4, and Cry X25 with a 5. But you see that, you saw that clutches from Cry X25, and that was a clear 1v4, but that was, I'd like to say, I'd love to say 1v5 because he actually knocked down a player twice after being rescued, right? Then Tarzan, just been able to take 4 limbs. That will definitely be good for Tarzan because he had those 10 freaking eliminations on the first game, but now all he has those another 4 limbs, right? The match ranking that says we have 777 Sports, Morvix, Injus, Execute, Rescue Sports, and Shockwave with us in an empty-handed. Attack on enemy, 2 Funny Sports and Silent Command got just 1 point, 2 points for Team XP Sports, 4 points for Team Sineria and Team Enrage Sports, 5 points for 2 of the teams Team Modern and Team Phoenix Legion, 6 points for 2 of the teams Team Executioners, Team Cameras Sports, and Team Cam Army Esports, and there's 7 points for Team Regnum, Koyon, and Team Neon Rising has those 8 points. Clear got 12, and more than double Team Sky's got 28 here after the match rankings. Now we need the overall top players list. There comes Tarzan with 14 elims and Coast with 11 from the same team. It's LVK 7 from Team Moderns with 8 elims, and Kali Jr. after this particular game with 9 elims on the 4th. And there was Command from Team Silent Commando. The tag does Ace Shades with 8 elims too, but look at the damages. It's the highest damage from the Coast side. And he got 2026 of damages. Okay, that's the year. It's the 2025 and almost on the 26th August. So that means we would only have some months left, like September, October, November, and December. That means after just 4 months we'd have a new year. Oh my goodness, this year is just getting faster than the previous one. I'm just getting afraid because I'm just getting older and older, but I want to be kiddo for the rest of my life. But hey man, I just cannot be a kiddo for the rest of my life. That's the saddest thing I find in my life. So let's talk about the overall ranking for now, because that will definitely be changed, but not with the number 1 position, but with the 2nd position. Yes, indeed Sky Sports has those 58 of total points, and Team KK's has 35 points. Team Executioners has 25. We got top 2 teams after 3rd game, but definitely we'd love to watch it for the final game, so that if the 2nd position gets shifted, but Skyts has taken them that high, so that no other team can cross over to them with just 1 game, right? Because on the particular final game, Team Skyts will definitely be securing lots of points. Then Team Execute being on the safest position with the same points of Team CX, means Silent Commandos. Then you see Team 4MS, Team GMRs, Team MDX, Team Execute, Team ENs, Team Neon Rising, Team RCs. Not Team RCs. Team Neon Rising to be in the yellow zone. Now is the red zone on the 2nd page. You be on the 2nd page, you be on the red zone. But to be in on the yellow zone on the 1st page, you just need 15 plus points. But here comes the main game change. Team RCs, Team Shinies, Team RRQs, Team PLHX, Team Cam, Team Morvex, Team ODs, Team AOEs, Team 777, Team SWs. Doesn't have to be OD that much. All they need is to just be together and eliminate the table toppers at first, and then they can just shuffle out for the yellow zones. But I see the bottom teams, like from the third to the 10th, the team will definitely try to just secure their spot for the next survival stage, right? But yeah, let's go for the custard desk for now, as I'd love to take a little bit of break. Before that, we'd love to watch it for the schedule, because upcoming match would be on the OG map, Irangel again, gentlemen. And that's all, my lord. Now, let's get back on the caster desk so that I can have such a little bit of break and I can have the tea now. Now, gentlemen, let me be right back, huh? Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere, because we need to witness the final game for the yellow zone and for the green zone. So stay tuned. Gentlemen, welcome back after such a short little break. As promised, I'm back again to witness the final game. It's just the semi-final stage, and you see the group A to deal for their own, to just settle the scores, to fight for the glory. But only the top two teams after the 4 games would have the opportunity to be on the finals at first, and then from the bottom third to the bottom 10, the teams would have the survival stage. That means the pre-final stage. Now, this flight path is such a good flight path, starting from the Melta Power, ending onto the Zarki. Now, lots of teams are just starting to jump for the drop directed locations. It's the Melta where Team Siny would get on. Team Silent Commandos would jump on the farm. Nobody is heading for the military base, and the zone is supporting on the Melta as the center. Now, some of the teams are not actually jumping on the drop directed locations, but some might come in or come back in on this zone, right? This might happen, but on the Lipovka, we might see the first dropless battle. On the Rozhok, we might see the first battles too. We have seen the first Erangel, right? And there we saw the first dropless battles happening in the Rozhok. Still, that will happen again. But on the minimap, on the mini game scene, you see the team Executioners being in the problem at first by the team MDX, means Team Modern. After just being taken to the player's town, Team Modern would love to come close, but Nasty has a pistol in the hand and gets eliminated. Just like that from this Lipovka. Team Modern has their first 3 points. But you see Team Modern being on the yellow zone on the 7th. Okay, 35 points has been set for the second position to be on the grand finale. Team KK's still hasn't started yet, but for Team Morvex, it's not really that good, going good, because Morvex loses passed up, and then Rage, you bad, and why you bad? Yeah, and then Jovki, would get just the eyewitness part. They're the real eyewitnesses who just witnessed that Pasta getting eliminated. I feel so sad for the team, but they should just avoid the first draw clash battles, as it can cost you your valuable teammates. Those you are gonna be in need for the end games. But for now on the school, yeah, you see the team Neon Risings, and then on the school compound you see the team Cam. But where team 777 esports works, eliminates one of the player that was just on the first slot, but he did it good. He's a good guy. Actually, he didn't spoil the game. He left the game, or yeah, that's how we just fall in love with that guy. Yeah, but I wish. No, I shouldn't pronounce it right now. It is Team Cam Army Esport on the skill compound side. It is Team Silent Commando on the river side. Yeah, then Team Silent Commando. At which riverside they are? They're on the Melta side, right? On the Novoripna bridge. So they're having such a good position, but nobody has headed on the military base. So there will not be any team coming on the from the military base, right? And the team might choose for the Melta location to be in and take the first battles. Now this time we would not talk about, or I will not talk about Team Skites and Team KKs and the table topper teams. Yes, I'd only talk about the bottom teams because they need to be in for the survival stage. And from 11th to the 19th, there would be 9 teams to be getting disqualified from the 7th stage, and really that's the saddest part. But you need to be in, right? You need to be in on the top 10 teams to just get close. That is Team Neon Rising, that is Team Shiny, that is Team RRQs, PL8X, Cam, Morvix, Odis, and 777 who can have the chances. But Team Attack on Enemies missed the game after they found out that this lobby is, or it might be that I don't, or they just got disappointed by the previous 3 games, and they somehow predicted that one game would not be that enough for them to be in. It's Too Fun Esports on the mansion side. It's Phoenix, Lord, and Vision. Okay. Now, hey, bro, we would love to watch it for the bottom teams at first and them again and again. Okay, so Cam Army Esport. Then it's the team Killer Crews, the second competitors for the competition. I see the player named as Paka Paka, Toby Juniors. Then it's the team Morvex on the bottom side. Then they have those 6 points for them. Then it making for the team Execute. Oh wow, Execute actually missed the game. That's the position Team Morvex would like to take. Team MDX loses the players. Odis comes in on the kill feed, takes the first knocks. Team Neon Rising trying to look out for the hillside, but that's the Rozok area. You need to be very, very careful before getting in or before getting close to that hill. But Team Neon Rising already has their lead on the hillside and then scouting on the whole Rozok. Then I see Team PLHX, Team RQs, but somehow Team RQs only just joined on the game with the 2 roster. That's a problem. Team Modern getting started again after the first 3 eliminations. This is their 4th knock. And this time it's Team ODs tagged as Tufan Esport. Yeah, Tufan. There has been a good movie from my country, Bangladesh, and the movie named as Tufan. I see Tufan Esport. So it's like, okay, Tufan means chaos or cyclones in Bengali language in my mother tongue. So I'm having such a good time with Team Tufan Esports. I'd love to talk about Team Tufan, whether they would try to just dominate And then I'd love to talk about them. But it's time to defend, but they couldn't defend. At the end, it was the Cyclone from the Modern, but it is the modernity of the Modern to eliminate the Team Tufan. And yes, the old Tufan couldn't survive that much at that time. But now you see the school getting hotter because of the Team Rescue Sports. On the previous match, Team Rescue Sports didn't have their chances, but this time they're in a danger zone because Team Rescue Esport has only 12 freaking elimination points. But with the two elims been taken from the this first stage from this game, this team has 40 points now, but that will not be enough because they're sharing the same points with Team Execute. But if the bottom teams gets the highest number, then Team Execute might lose their position. As they missed the game, they should not be in the grand finale or the next stage. Absolutely, they won't be able to get on the grand finale. But you see the top three team, that is Team Silent Commandos, just having 25 points, and they do share 10 points for the gap with Team Killer Crews. But where are Team Killer Crews right now? They are sharing the location of Shelter, and that means Team Silent Crew are getting close to the Team Killer Crews. But if Team Silent Crew eliminates the Team Killer Crews, then Team Killer Crews might lose the chance to be in the grand finale at first, and then they might head in for the survival stage. But the competition is Team 4MA, Team Modern, and Team GMR and Team SCX would definitely love to take out the leaderboard at first. Now it's Team Skites Esport. They're just making it fun, using the grenades for their own players, just to make sure that the camera goes there. But no, we are just looking out for the players right now for the battles. It's Team Gamer Esports. Refast trying to scout down the whole area. Gamer Eyes would definitely secret the kill, but before just getting executed from the vehicle, they're just trying to ran over for the player. But then the support would definitely come in. Now it's Kapan who's just on the kill feed fighting with Team Rescue Esports. Their Team Rescue would lose one of the player, but Team Skies Esports getting interrupted by Team 4MA. Yes, that's the fifth competitor team on this competition, but Team SCX need just 1 point. Then they'll just cross over Team Executioners. Then Team Skies gets a second knock. It's just being so good with Team 4MA or AXP Sports just getting eliminated like that in a blink of an eye. This client completes the first domination. You see them, but I'm not a caster, right? I'm a coach. I'm an analyst. So what I do is I just analyze the games or analyze the players or analyze the team, like how they execute and what their trick point is and how they support the players and how their rotations gotta be. So that's where I just explain the competition like this. Okay, so that's a different part. But here, if you just look out for the previous three games, if you just definitely find out the weak points of the teams, because I have just revealed the weaknesses kind of, if you can understand the points. But it's Team Neon Rising being so problem because of Team Rescue Sports. Now Rescue has the slamming inside, but the slamming is not working that well. It will definitely work well if they can get leads. But I see final boss is just trying to trace down the players and then trying to just be safe by himself too, but slowly they're getting cornered and they're getting pushed back. It's Wizard Boss waiting for the player to be in on the visuals, and a Wizard Boss tried to do a sneak peek, but that sneak peek didn't work. Now it's the second player to get close, and Wizard Boss tried to switch the position, but it is too late to switch in. PK gets close and takes the knock. The Neon Boss loses lots of HP. So he would just definitely think about for the first hit to be popped in, but now he would be taken down by the off angle. But the players could just switch their position, right, and get in the outside and then take out a final boss from this side. But final boss switches the weapon to the shotgun. Now it's time for the clutch. Final boss takes the S12K in the hand. That's a dangerous weapon, but from the two different angles, the players might come in, and final boss is just thinking like which place is the safest one right now. Yes, then he switches the position to the next one, and then he just think out for the, position switching again and again. A new positioning might work here. Team Skyt fights with GMRs. Team GRMs fights with Team Cam. And there has been a triple threat battle starting in the outside, but for the final boss, every time we play a good game, a video game, we just get encountered with the final bosses, right? And this is the final boss from the Neon Rising. Now the level is harder, and still after such a long time, final boss. He is alive. He is still alive. Nobody has been able to take him down. But now, no. Final boss makes the first knock. Now he goes for the second knock too. He knows that that's a pump shotgun, so he can go for the second knock. He switches the weapon, and that was a clear mistake. Peak. He uses the shotgun and gets eliminated too. What is that? Rescue Esports also be eliminated. That's the loss you face if you just fight on the outside of the zone. It's Team Skyt fighting with Team GRMs. Now this is the second battle to be happening, but Team GRMs is inside the safest yellow zone. Now the execute team being on the 10th position, Team Neon being on the 9th position, Team Rescue Esports being on the 8th position, Team 4MA, Team Execute on the 3rd and the 5th. That means the 8th, 9th, and 10th position are so good to be taken in. And that means you only need just 16 plus points to be in on the top 8 teams for the top 10 teams. But the Morvex loses Rage this time. It's Silent Commandos to deal with the Morvex. But Morvex finds no other paths to be inside on the Melta. And now the Morvex comes closer and closer. But there are the teams getting faster. And they'll just reach inside of the zone faster than Team Morvex. That's good. Team Morvex doesn't need to get inside as fast as they can. They just need to avoid the battles as many as they can. Yeah, but Team Morvex already has 6 points, so the Morvex would just need more 10 points. Yes, but not only 10 but 12 points, right? If Morvex takes the top 5 position, no, the top 4 position, then Team Morvex would have 4 points. And later they just need 6 more points, and now for the 6 more points they can go for the third party interruptions. They can read the kill feeds, and then they can find out about the battles those are happening in a head-to-head in such mid-ranges, right? And then they can find out about the knockouts or the bleed-outs ones, and then they can seek it out the players. But it's indeed the Team SCX, the silent the silent commandos, loses out the players but also tries to take the leads. Team Cam Army Esports are no more. We're down to top 11 teams. That is Team Cam. The 15th position was for them, but Team Morvex shares the 16th position. But now Team Morvex needs only 2 more points to be close with Team Cam. But if Team Morvex survives till the end, then it might be possible. If they takes the 2nd position, then they would have 6 placement points, and that means they would need only 4 of eliminations. Only 4 of eliminations, but to the players, and that would be easy for them. But for Team 777, they just need a chicken dinner here, and for that Team 777 just avoids the battles, right? But you see the Team 777s getting inside on the Melta, then it's Team Silent Commando. And Team Silent Commandos, where they are on the top 3. And for the competition, the last game becomes the last opportunity for Team Silent Commandos to just take down Team Killer Chris from the 2nd spot, so that they can be on the grand finale by just this match from this stage directly. But just nobody wants to be in the survival stage if they get the opportunity to be in the grand finale at the previous one, or at the stages that they're participating for. Now it's Team Skyt, the table toppers. Why not? Because on the very first game, they were just getting eliminated with just empty-handed. But on the 2nd game, they took 30 points. On the 3rd game, they took 28 points, and the domination was so good. And you still see that on the very 4th stage, the Team Skyt Esports getting just another 4 elimination by just doing the first dropless battles, or just any targeted battles, or any checkpoint battles. But still, it's Team Gamer Rise Esports, dealing out for the close in combats. They need lots of points. But Team Gamer Esports, how many points they'll be able to take in? Team Killer Crews losing out the players. Team Modern fighting with Team GRMs, and Team EGs fighting with Team Killer Crews too. So that means Team Killer Crews losing out to the players. Team Modern trying to hold down, but the grenade would hunt down Abula 999, and then Zooks 66 would be inside. Then Hidden 13 would be inside too, but we lost Team Cameras Esports. Now it's all about Team MDX, Team Modern to be dealing with the fight, but Team Phoenix Legion would be no more into the game. Then it's Team Sineria Esports losing out the player Kappa Zin. Then I see Sint and Cizo XXXXXXX who just survived that far. I was trying to make it fun because it's late night, but you should not just take the pressure. It just should get entertained too at the same time, and for that I'm the perfect guy here. Team Scenario Esports is just dealing with Team MDX, and that means the points will be locked in the mid. From the 11th it's Team EN, and you see Team Modern. Oh my goodness, what a shot that is. Abula makes the first knock, but still Team Morvix would have the second opportunity to rescue out the player again, but then Team Modern just waiting for the teams to get inside. It's Team Sineria Esports just taking outside, and there comes the support. Yes, Abula surprises the player, and then Abula tries to go for the second knock, but no, that player being hunted down by two different angles by the Modern. That compound becomes the hunter point for them, but the next zone gets supported on the mate location. Now you see Team KK is the Killer Chris on the southern side, Team RRQ on the southern eastern side too, and Team RRQ is being chased down by the Miens. On the northern eastern, it's Team Skites. There comes Team Modern. Now, it is indeed Team Modern, right? Who would take a new chicken dinner again? I definitely hope so. That might count as the hat-trick chance for the team Skites on the semi-final stages. If they place like this, that might announce that they might become the pre-announced champions. But no, I'd not announce that, or I'd not love to announce that. Still, Team Skite secured the grand finale on this stage so far, you can say that. But Team Silent Commandos fighting Team KKs, but KKs before getting eliminated, they're just taking 5 eliminations. And Team KKs also loses their first player, but not losing it. They still do have that chance left for the rescue to be happening in. But Team 777 Sports waiting for the perfect moment to get out. Then Choki 10 getting eliminated. That leads Team KK to be in a try, and Team Silent Commander to be in a try too. But the Modern is just going in for Team KKs at the same time, and where Team Skites are just scouting for. But the grenade would be hunted down Baka, and Team Killer Crews would lose the player. Team Modern makes Team Killer Crews to lose too. One for Team Silent Commandos, and one for Team Killer Crews. But not one for Team Killer Crews, but one for Team Moderns. But this is Team EN's named as Enrage Esports. Yes, being in the top 9 teams. Now they're inside in the top 7 teams, and that means if they get eliminated, they would still have one more placement point. But now it's Team KKs to interrupt with Dorky, and Dorky gets taken down. Then Kali Jr. gets taken down by Team Enrages 2, and then Team Enrages dealt with Team Killer Crews at the very end of the moment, but gets interrupted again by Team Silent Commandos. Wow, looking out for the longer ranges on the edge side of the southern eastern, and takes the player down. That leads Team Enrages Esports to be in a duo. But how long they can survive? Under the top 6 team survives. Their Team Morvix not taking any battles, but they need the zone support. Now what Team Morvix Esports can do, they can interrupt on Team 777 Esports, but Team 777 Esports has the best chances. So yeah, Team Morvix Esports should not interrupt here, but they should do that by this segment, where Team Enrage got the perfect opportunity to weak down Team Skites, but later Team Skites gets closer to the Team 777 Esports and Tarzan eliminates them all. Now Team Skites losing out the players. Yes, that counts 2. This counts 3. So Skites would be just having one of the players left for the survival. Team Morvix, they're just having the moments again, but they just hope for the non-interruptions. But now is the time, is the perfect time for the Team Morvix to take out on the Northern, because if they takes the Northern, then Team Sky Sports loses the support, the counter support. But the thing is that is Tarzan, and he plays very well. So Team Morvix gets close to the northern side and would just scout out on the locations, but on the back end, that's Jove 7-7 should have scouted out. It's you bad, or why you bad? Yeah, getting close but getting eliminated on the top five. They were so close, only just having 3 placement points, but it is not the perfect time for them to be starting. But obviously they shouldn't have come on the southern side. They should have gone for the northern side, even if they had in the zone support, right? Yeah, but then if we talk about Team Enrage Esport, then they would definitely have the chance for the chicken dinner. But still, they're outside of the zone. But you see Tarzan waiting for the teams, Team Modern and Team Enrage Esports, to get in on this next seventh stage. Only 50 seconds of the time for the team Skyt Esport. That's Tarzan. Okay, that's Tarzan. Now, what Tarzan does, he just wants to not expose himself. Look at the 10 eliminations Team Skites has. And that means Team Skites would definitely go for the chicken dinner title. But before that, Team Modern finds out about the problem on this very seventh stage, and it takes the best vehicle so far. That's a cover, or that's an hovercraft vehicle, and that means you cannot take down a player while he's in the hovercraft, and you cannot just blast that vehicle by yourself alone with just one magazine. It takes 3 magazines to blast the vehicle. Now you see Tarzan being spotted, and then Pixella getting the finish for the Team Skynt. Yes, now it's all about Team Enrage Esport to fight with Team Moderns, but he gets touched by the zone, and that's it. Team Modern winning the chicken dinner. The final chicken dinner goes for the Team Modern, and that means Team Modern is definitely having the yellow zone and being in the top 10 teams, but not being able to just cross over the Team KKs. But look out for that, if they might, if they're able to just cross over the Team KKs, right? Yeah, they need 20 plus points to just be close with the Team KKs, the team which took almost 40 points. But how many points Team Modern had? Oh, they had 9 eliminations, and then I see not 9, but they would have more points, right? Yeah, that were counted 10 eliminations for the team, and Team Modern had 13 eliminations. What? What? Team Modern has 13 eliminations? That means they definitely have 23 plus points. That means they can be on the second competitor list. Yes, you can see that. It was the 7 eliminations, and that means they had 16 eliminations. With the chicken dinner, that counts 26 plus points. And that means they definitely cross over Team KKs. So the Modern has their comeback. Yes, finally I see a team, and that is Team Modern has their comeback on the final 4th game, and that means they're definitely having the grand finals after this game. So congratulations and kudos to the Team Modern, because they have just stopped Team Killer Cruise to being qualified on the grand finals on this very 4th game. But still Team Killer Cruise did great, but with just 50 plus points, Team Modern would definitely expect their comeback on the second spot, but would love to watch it for the changes, right? Yeah, so let's go and witness the next results. You see the damages. Ebola 999 deals lots of damage, like 1300 plus, and that's all Milord. It is the match summary, and we see the 59 of eliminations and 59 of knockouts. Then it was 8425 of total healings, and then there was the vehicle eliminations of 2, and we see 6 of grenade eliminations too. But now we see the 24 of assists, and we know what is happening in the final game. And the teams just missed the game, right? But on the head-to-head segment, it's indeed the Team Modern with the 2359 damages, or 2359 total damages, and then the damage was from Skyts. It was 1553, and that means they're having those 10 eliminations and the 5 placement points in the top 3, right? So that's it. Team Skyts has the 15 points more, and they're the table toppers for this group on the semi-final stages, and they're the group champions who definitely have their grand final moment. Then Team Modern. From the team, Abula 999 has the 9 eliminations in a solo with 30 and 53 damages by dealing. So far, so great. It is 9 knocks and 4 and 23 total healings. And then you see the survival. Yes. 23 minutes of 16 seconds. And that's all, my lord. That's all because the match was only for 23 minutes and 16 seconds because the Modern has the final chicken dinner after the final game. Now let us look out for the next segment. It's definitely the top players list after the MVPs list, and there will be definitely four more players on this game. That is Jux 66, Pix Sella 7, and Ulf 99, and Seizo 6x. I just counted how many X's are there. So it's just 666. Not bad, but Ulf 99 and Pix Sella 7 Zook. They played well. But Matt's rankings. There are 6 teams to go out empty-handed. One is for the team 4MA XP Sports, then the team Executioners, Phoenix Legion, Shockwave, Aragon Enemy, and Execute. Now I see the teams like Cam Army Esports been able to take one, Rex Regnum Queon takes 1 point, Tufan Esports takes 1, 3 points for 3 teams, Saneri Esports, Morvix NGs, Indian Rising, because Morvix gets eliminated on the 5th position, and that's why they're having those 3 placement points. Then you see the 4 points been taken with 3 teams too. It's Rescue Sports, Gamma Rays Sports, and so are the teams. But you have already seen the points, the high points been taken by the table toppers, right? But the overall top list, we definitely have Tarzan on this semi-finalists from this particular group, and then we have Coast with us. It is Kali, Abula, and Outlaw on the top 5 list on the overall list. But Tarzan, by just taking 10 first solo eliminations on the very second game by the team Skite, he never let him getting down again. So he never, he never gave the opportunity for the competitors to get close to him or to touch him. Now the overall standings under the top 2 teams are getting qualified. It's indeed the team Moderns with team Skites getting qualified directly to the grand finals. That's it, my lord. Now let's watch out for the survivors. For the survival stage, it's team KK's Killer Crews, and then it is indeed the team SCX, the Silent Commandos. Yes, congratulations. Team Yens, team EXGs means executors or executioners. Team 4MA, team GMers, team RCs, and team Neon Rising. These are the teams. These are the top 10 teams. And from the 3rd to the 10th teams for the survival stage, congratulations to the teams. And on the top 2 list, you see Team Skites and Team Moderns to be just qualified in the grand finals. But for the disqualification, it would be Team Execute, Team Shiny, Team Arcus, Team Morvex, Team PLHX, Team Cam, Team Odis, Team 777, Team AOEs, and Team ASWs. I feel so sad for the teams, but still, let's hope for the best on the near future. Now, gentlemen, you were watching PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament, the Pmmt Heatwave, and now the semi-final day 1 has been completed with a host named as Quicker, called as Kiwarkamo from the direct Asia, the Southeast Asia. Now, the caster desk. Yeah, can I have the desk back? I guess yes. Jabardasti, yeah. It's just like the Hindi. But yeah, today's schedule, you can see that the first chicken was for team Executioners, the second chicken was for the team Skites, and the third was for team Skites 2, and the last one for the team Morvex. You guys did so well, but the highest chicken in the point goes for team Skites, and the second highest goes for the team Skites 2, and the third highest chicken dinner points goes for the team Moderns, and then the last highest chicken dinner goes for the team Executors or team Executioners. Now I'm back again, the quickie arc on the caster desk for you guys on the Pmmt Heatwave on Morvex or PUBG Mobile Morvex tournament. Today it's the end here, and we'll meet tomorrow. So till then, stay tuned and stay healthy, and keep praying for the teams and keep supporting for the teams you do love to support, right? And do not forget to subscribe the Morvex Esports YouTube channel. Here you'd find lots of tournaments, lots of competitions with your favorite chosen teams to compete with, and with me too. So that's it for now. Stay tuned. Allah Hafiz to you all. Bye. Bye.